If your business is stuck below 7 figures, I want to share with you what we did to take our business from about 5K a month to $1 million a year, the order in which we did it, and how you could do it faster than we did. So first of all, when I started growing the business with my family, it was not doing that well. It was like $5,000 a month of recurring revenue, and it just seemed like we were never going to be able to get this business to a full-time type of business, because at the time, my father was working full-time in construction. I had just graduated high school and was turning down a full ride to college, and it seemed like the business just wasn't gonna be successful. So what I did first, and what I would recommend for anybody to do, is realize that you don't know what you don't know. I actually decided to go all in and invest time, money, and energy on coaching and business mentorship. Now that also meant that I had to leave the comfort of my home and go travel, because back then, doing YouTube videos like this or getting on a Zoom call wasn't a thing. And so at that time, it required me to get completely out of my comfort zone, as well as my father, as we decided to really grow this business. The first thing after we started investing into business coaching and mentorship was to actually take action on what we were learning. And that took time, that took money. But what we learned is, with that time and that money, that there was an order in which we had to execute on. That's what I want to share with you today. We started working on our marketing. So basically, once I invested into business mentorship, and once I started traveling the country and started looking at what these other businesses were doing that I wanted to do in our business, the next step was coming back and actually taking action. For so many of the clients that I work with, that little small detail is what equals big results. And I work with a lot of different clients all over the world. Some of them, as soon as I show them something, they go take action and they crush it. And for some of them, they love listening and they don't take the action that they should. And because they don't take that action, their business is stuck. And so what I would definitely suggest to you is, if you really want to grow your business, you've got to get into an action mindset. That action mindset is, I learn information, I deploy action. If you can start thinking to yourself, if I learn information, I have to deploy action, things will start moving rapidly. And in business, when a business starts gaining momentum, it's much easier to keep it going than it is to start and stop, start and stop. So what we focused on was marketing. And I believe that for every business, this is the main thing. So many people get stuck trying to make it the best business that they have. Like, they need to get the recipe exactly right. And believe me, that's what we were doing. For martial arts, we were trying to think about, how do we make this curriculum the best curriculum? How do we make the best fighters? How do we make the best martial arts students? And although that is important, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, right? So having a recipe for what you're trying to produce is really important. But it's not the first thing. Because if you only focus on that thing, you're gonna have a whole lot of zero. You're not gonna have any customers, you're not gonna have any clients, you're not gonna have any students. So what we had to do is, we had to shift our focus more towards marketing, on being known. Now initially, in a local business, in a small business environment, the easiest way to get known is straight up word of mouth, referrals. And we used to think that referrals meant we were just doing a great job in class, and therefore everybody would tell everybody else what kind of amazing business we had. And that didn't work. People weren't referring others. We actually had to ask. We had to say, hey, you've been having such a great experience here. Would you mind recommending somebody to us? Asking. You just think to yourself, how many times have you had someone have a great experience and you haven't asked them for a referral? I guarantee you that there's somebody right now in your business, in your school, in your academy, that you could walk up to and you could say, listen, we really are on a mission to change lives here. And we also really want to make sure that we're opening up doors to other people in this community. Who do you know that could benefit from confidence, focus, discipline? Insert your business benefits there, and you're going to be able to start getting some referrals from your existing student. Now, the next thing that we did is, instead of just trying to wait for people to refer, we also created opportunities for our current student base and our student population to bring their friends, their family from the outside in. So if you have a small business, a brick and mortar business, heck, even if you have an online business, I do this in my online business all the time. Go ahead and create some type of event where your current group of people can bring their group of people to your business. If you can do this, it's going to allow the outside world to take a step inside safely. Because you gotta think about the different types of traffic that you have. You have people that are what I would consider warm traffic, and you have people that I would consider cold traffic. Warm traffic means that they're either product aware or they're problem aware. Okay, product aware means they know your company exists. They know that your business, the local martial arts school, the local dance academy, the local, hair salon, the local gym, they know you exist. They've seen your sign. They know about you. Other people have talked about you. That would be product aware. They're aware of you. Problem aware would mean that they know that they have a problem that needs to be solved. For the martial arts world, it would be they know that their child has ADHD and therefore their child needs help focusing. They know that their child is being bullied and therefore they need some help with confidence and maybe self-defense. Or as an adult, they know that they need to lose weight, but maybe they don't want to go to the gym and they want to try an alternative way to get in shape. Or for a gym, they know they need to lose weight, but they don't know what they're supposed to do at the gym. Or for a hair salon or any other local-based business, they know that they need something, but they just haven't found the right place to go. In that case, they're problem aware, but they're not product aware, but they're both warm. Cold traffic is are people that don't know about you and don't even know that they have a problem. They've never had that thought in their mind. That's completely cold. And it's harder to get those types of people to come in the doors unless you really start going down the path of copywriting, on calling out your ideal customer from this group of people. That takes a lot more skill than it does to convert warm traffic. So why not start with warm? If our business is the nucleus, the center, then we want to start working outward from that center into warm traffic and then eventually into cold traffic. We would get people to come to us, and this allowed us to start penetrating some of that warm traffic. And then we started going to them. People already kind of knew who we were in our local area. So then we started going to traffic sources that were similar. Now, I would say that this is kind of like, how fresh water and salt water, when they mix together, it's called brackish water. I kind of feel like that's what this is, because it's not completely cold traffic. Like, you're not in a situation where it's completely cold, they have no idea about you, but you're also not really in a situation where it's warm traffic. Like, they've already discovered the problem or they've discovered you. It's right in the middle. So we would go out, and we still do. Matter of fact, this past weekend, we had almost 200 leads just from one event that we went out to and collected leads at that event. Boots on the ground, talking with people, collecting leads. Out of that, we had 35 people set appointments to come in to our school the next week. I mean, 35 appointments, 200 leads, a few hours worth of work. That's it? That's it. That's how simple that was. I would rather be in that middle ground of going out into the local community and doing that rather than just sitting behind my computer waiting on Facebook ads, Instagram ads to do all their work. Now, don't get me wrong, you still need to have cold traffic, and that's gonna come from Facebook and Instagram. Matter of fact, when you start having that cold traffic, people start recognizing you with the name or with the problem, they start connecting the dots and then move over to that warm side. So focus on the traffic sources in that order. I would start with your referrals, and then I would move out to getting the community to come to you, and then I would move out again and go to the community. And then finally, on the fringes, I would start focusing on cold traffic. That's actually the order that we did it in, and it's worked really, really well. The next thing that we focused on to get to 7 figures was sales. We actually started really developing out sales skills. And so if you're thinking to yourself, I want to grow my business as well, you gotta get good at sales, even if you don't like sales. I had this false belief that I wasn't good at talking to people. And I also had this false belief that being an 18-year-old, that there's no way anybody would believe me when I was trying to sell them back in the day. I think it was like $1,000 program or something like that. And Nowadays, I've sold people on $30,000 or more than that for their services. So to think that that 30x now, and I'm able to do that and be able to run these businesses that I have is incredible. But I had to get over that belief. And that belief was that I couldn't talk to somebody and I couldn't sell them. And you've got to get over that belief too in order for you to have the highest level of impact possible. In order to get to 7 figures, you got to get great at selling. And not just selling from the standpoint of, hey, do you want this thing? But learning how to overcome objections. Learning your customer avatar, the people that are in front of you. Like if you're a martial arts school, learning how to talk to the parent of the child that's gonna get started or the adult that might be getting started in your classes. That's what we had to do. Or if you're in a different type of business, what is it that customer really needs or wants? And how can you find it out and then use your services to solve that problem? That's really what sales is discovering what problem exists and how you can solve that problem for somebody else. So get good at all aspects of sales. Talking to people, talking to them about the sale itself, overcoming objections, and following through on the promises that you promised in that sales conversation. All right, the final thing that you have to do in order to hit 7 figures is really to fulfill and be able to provide for your customers. For us, that's providing for our students. And not just for them coming in the door just for a few months, but them staying with us for years. That's actually what really catapulted us all the way up to 7 figures is we weren't replacing our entire student body every few months. So you've got to be able to get into a state of flow with your students or with your customers so that you're providing them an extreme amount of value. They're seeing that value, they want to keep coming, and they want to keep paying you. It doesn't matter if you have contracts, it doesn't matter if you don't have contracts. That's not going to keep someone showing up at your door. What's going to keep them showing up at your door is you providing exceptional quality. People think that I should be able, or maybe you thought this, you might be thinking to yourself, I need to provide the same amount of quality that they're paying me for. But in all actuality, you need to provide exceeding quality from what your customer is paying you for what your student is paying you for. You must do that. Otherwise, they're going to quit, they're going to stop using your services and go find a cheaper place. They're not thinking that you're worth what they're paying for. They're thinking they've got a deal. You're worth more than what they're paying for. So when you lower the amount of value to only what they're paying for, they're gonna go find somebody cheaper because they're thinking to themselves, I got a deal because they're giving me all this value, but I only have to pay that much. Keep that in mind. And if you stay focused on marketing, sales, and customer success, you're gonna go all the way up to 7 figures and probably beyond. Hey, if you got a ton of value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button, share it with somebody. And if you feel like this type of content is more of what you want, I invite you to go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, keep being awesome.